Hello and welcome. My name is Desiree Shaw and I'm a psychotherapist. I vlog on a podcast about mental health, men's mental health. If you haven't already, subscribe and like this channel, follow, comment, tell me your thoughts. Survival kit. I just went in there, didn't I? The survival kit, the asthma sufferer's survival kit during the COVID-19 scare. I'm an asthma sufferer and I don't know about you, but if you're an asthma sufferer, I'm assuming, even though I shouldn't assume, that you probably had the same worries that I had. I worried about having an asthma attack. I worried about being taken to the hospital and they're not being able to look after me. I worried about COVID-19 affecting my asthma and closing up my lungs. I worried about all of that. So, the worry came into fruition. About 4 days ago, I felt my chest start to tighten. Now, around this time of year, my chest does tighten up anyway, and I don't feel comfortable. And that happens. And normally I take my brown inhaler. Now, I'm very lucky. I've been able to work with my asthma until it's gone from really bad asthma to moderate asthma to mild asthma. And I had been taking my inhaler and it wasn't doing anything. And the brown inhaler, the preventer, that's the daddy of the inhaler. That's all you need. The blue one is what you use when you're relieving yourself. Now, it wasn't working. The tight breath, the wheezing. I was waking up in the nighttime. This is when you know, as an asthma sufferer, your asthma's bad. When you're waking up during the night, because that lets you know that you're not in control. You're not in control of it. And I was waking up a lot. So I was stressing myself out quite a lot, and I was going through the day, and then I started to take these really shallow breaths because deep breaths hurt. And when you take a shallow breath as an asthma sufferer, it hurts. Your chest becomes really painful. So now you got the pain. You got the pain and you've got the scare and you don't know what's going on. And COVID-19, the coronavirus is everywhere. And, you know, they're doing all kinds of things. And you're thinking to yourself, maybe it's not me. Maybe it isn't me. Maybe it's just asthma. And you can't work it out. So by Monday, I was actually quite concerned because I got off the tube station and I didn't feel good. So I called 111. I called my doctor. Had actually rung me and he said to me, do you know what? Could you come in and just get some steroids, please? And I thought, come in? The doctor knows something that I don't. Well, he doesn't. I'm just on a list, which is, you know, I've gone from really severe to moderate to mild. I'm still on the list. So I went in and I got these steroids. And for the first night, it was all right. I woke up in the morning on Tuesday and I wasn't too good. So I had to go to A&E because I was told to. And I got another course of steroids, something else, which really did the trick. Now, my point is, during that time, what was I doing to cope? Because they say you've got to have a coping strategy with your asthma. And I did have one. And it's when that coping strategy no longer works that you know you've got to go to the hospital. So before you get yourself rushing to the hospital, make sure you cover this, because your asthma is very much fueled by anxiety. Your body believes it's under attack when it's not, but yet your body's going to try to suffocate you. So no amount of telling the person who's got asthma to calm down actually helps. So please note, for those of you who don't have asthma, whenever you see somebody having an attack, it's not very friendly to say calm down, because if you could, you would. That's exactly what you're trying to do. So let's move on to how you can cope. So what I did to cope before I went to the extreme, which was finding myself in A&E, I have a demystifier thing. And I dropped some Albus oil in it. Okay? Some Albus oil or some eucalyptus essential oil. And that helps to open up my airwaves. Okay? So if you have one of those, do it. If you don't have one of those and you've got like a clean, clear, you know, little one of those plastic spray bottles you can buy from any chemist or pharmacy, you put a few drops of Albus oil in that, fill it up with some water and spray it. Spray it on your pillow, spray it on your body. When you go into the shower, put some Albus oil on whatever you use to scrub yourself. Make sure you concentrate on the chest areas and use it around your chest with your soap. That helps to open up your airways. What you're doing is you're giving your body a better chance at breathing. Yeah. When you come out the shower, get some Vicks, rub it on your chest, your lungs in front and back, and your throat. Go to bed. Make sure you've got enough breathing space. Keep a window just a little bit open so you've got some fresh air. Take your brown inhaler. This is just a simple survival kit before you start panicking that you need to go to A&E. Now, don't do this if you've got an asthma attack. Just get yourself to A&E. Notice when you're taking the shallow breaths, and that is the key to recognizing that actually you're hurting your chest. You probably need to go to see a doctor. And that's where I was on Tuesday. I had felt all of these symptoms and I thought, okay, my strategies are no longer working. Now I need to go. So make sure you exhaust those strategies first, because you can actually support yourself before you get to the extreme. It's listening to your body. It's being mindful as to what is actually going on in your body, and knowing when it's uncomfortable. There's no point in you bearing it. Okay, so be mindful to what you're feeling. Be mindful to how you're breathing. Be mindful to your whole structure of you. Okay, you're very important. You're very important. So asthma sufferers, this is the Asthma Sufferer Survival Kit during this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, which I'm sure if you've got asthma, you may be worried, because I was. So it's all anxiety fueled, remember, the perceived threat. And the perceived threat with asthma is that you're not going to be able to breathe. And if you think you can't breathe, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep looking for breath. The moment I hear the word breath, sometimes I'm like, because it triggers. And this is where your amygdala starts kicking in and cortisol starts rushing around your body. So to keep a lid on that, because when you can't really comment about an asthma sufferer unless you've had asthma. So unless you've actually gone through the stage of fighting for your breath, you might think it's one thing, and actually it's nothing like that. It's actually a very serious condition. So take precautions. Get your survival kit. Get your eucalyptus oil. Get your Orbis oil. Get your Vicks. Okay, get it in the shower. All right, use it in the shower, use it in the bath. Keep your airwaves open as much as you can. And if you're still finding it's difficult for you to breathe, then you know that's time to go to A&E. Okay. At first we weren't meant to be risks, but now we're risks. It kind of makes sense that we asthma sufferers would be at risk. It just, when I was reading it a couple of weeks ago, it said no asthma sufferers are not at risk. I thought, oh phew, if my asthma's not at risk, then I'm going to be alright. Then it was actually, I was thinking, my God, it's in the lungs. I mean, come on now, it's really a no-brainer that we would actually be at risk. So it's clear that they're not quite sure about what's going on. So you've got to take the precaution for yourself and better equip yourself so that you're in a better position. I'm now going to go outside for some fresh air. And if you can do that as an asthma sufferer, do it. Get out. Don't be stuck in the house all day if you're self-quarantining. I am staying away from people because the steroids I was given weaken my immune system, so I'm going to stay away. So I'm going to go and walk around and get me some fresh air into my lungs. This is very good for my entire mental well-being, emotional wealth, because I'm going to be outside and wandering around and doing really good things for myself, and then I'll come home. So get your body moving as well. Don't stay stuck. Just because you got asthma doesn't mean you can't do anything. I used to think, oh God, my mum, don't go anywhere, don't run. Of course you can do these things in moderation and recognise how you feel. Always recognise how you feel. Anyway, that's enough from me. My name is Desiree Shaw and I'm a psychotherapist. I practice at the Priory and privately. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like. And also, if you like what I do, I've actually put a contribution portal in the link at the bottom, so you can donate if you want to. No pressure. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.
Did you know that stress can also trigger asthma attacks? Just as much as smoke, pets, pollen, dust, or anything else can cause your asthma to flare. Asthma and anxiety definitely have a complicated relationship. Here's an example. If you're experiencing shortness of breath, it's going to cause anxiety. And the symptoms of stress, such as hyperventilating, can in turn cause an asthma attack. Yes. It's a vicious cycle. I know for me personally, I have a lot of trouble with cleaning products. I start to hold my breath and panic if someone is spraying cleaning chemicals near me because I immediately fear the worst, a full-blown asthma attack.
In the midst of escalating concerns over COVID-19 infections here in the United States, allergy specialist Dr. Karen Gell is telling her patients to stay vigilantly on top of their health issues.
And many infections will start with the upper respiratory tract, and we know that in the asthmatic population, if we don't clear that up, we won't have much control of clearing the lung up.
Health problems can compound significantly for someone who is not properly managing their asthma symptoms and contracts COVID-19.
I think it's important for all of us to stay calm during all of this. It gets easy to overread everything, but most of us know how to take care of ourselves.
And for those with respiratory ailments, taking care of yourself means knowing your baseline, how your body feels when everything is being taken care of.
So it's really important for the whole airway to be in good shape. Let's use your judgment, but if you're an asthmatic that's unstable particularly, that may be a reason to kind of more stay home and hunker down.